Welcome back. We're tuning the Honda. I'm nervous. Plumbed up the wideband. Got a boost reference to the dyno. I've got my Link knock ears. It's got a Haltech Elite 1500. I've done all the steady state tuning. It's quite boring to watch. It's just steady state. It's just everything when you're just cruising. You're not on boost. You're not at full throttle. You're just cruising around. Make sure your feeling's right. It's really boring to watch. It's just constant speed and just a lot of this on the laptop. So we're gonna run it up, get the VTEC under control, because this, as much as the internet raves about K24s, standard rods on E85 turbo and then a variable lift camshaft that just hits and makes torque, you still got to be careful. So we're going to try and bring the VTEC in at about, I think 5,000 RPM is where I'm happy with, and I'm only going to rev this to 75, even though the cylinder head can do 9. We don't want to blow things up here. So that's that. We get into it, do some basic pulls and see how terrifying this is or isn't, because I'm a little bit scared of it, but also I kind of like it. So let's do it. So before we get started, even though it's already on the dyno, I'm going to change the wastegate spring, which I'm about to show you how you do that now. Has a 14 PSI spring, it's way too much. We're going to a 7 PSI. Then on the dyno, strap it down. I'll put the wideband in. That's pretty much it, just get into it. And then we'll just start doing some runs and see where it's at. And then I'll run you through the dyno graph once we're done. But obviously, this is part 3 of the build series. You've seen what we've done to it, what's in it. It's K24 with a K20 B2 head, K24 A3 bottom end, K20 high float oil pump, ALP head studs. I think it's got Supertech double valve springs, retainers and guides. Standard K20 B2 camshafts, variable inlet cam, variable lift, VTEC, Haltech Elite 1500, 2000cc injectors, K-tuned fuel rail, Turbo Smart fuel reg, Turbo Smart external wastegate, Walbro 525. Like, it's got everything supported to go rods out or blow the gearbox in half. I'm not doing that. These gearboxes are good up to about 200 kilowatts. I'm happy with about 170 front wheel drive. Let the customer drive it and see where he's at. Let's go. So, let's talk results. 170.7 kilowatts, 444 newton meters. Now, bearing in mind, this is big turbo, K-series, standard bottom end, even though they're quite good. This thing responds ridiculously to any input, like any little change you make. Right now, we're about 8 degrees of timing in the top end, which is nothing. 5.1 PSI of boost, which is ridiculous. So 5 PSI and about 8 degrees of timing on E85. Not anything to do with knock limitation or anything. I don't even think this motor would be knock limited on E85. It's more a power thing and torque, trying to keep it as low as possible. So 5 PSI, no timing, 170 kilowatts, revving to 7,500. So I'm going to zoom in on this graph and just point out some things about the VTEC control. So hopefully this can refocus. Like that. So the red run here, 170.7, 444 newton meters. That is here. These runs down here where it made 160, 140, 100. The VTEC was trying to come on about here, which is about 4,000, which would stress the rods out and the bottom end. I've moved it about 2,000 RPM, or say 1,500 for argument's sake, to here. Comes on nice and slow. Originally it was shooting for big power, then obviously doesn't see enough boost, but we've brought it out to about here, nice and safe, about 5,000. Smoothly comes on, makes a smooth torque transition, makes smooth power. Now, as the tuner, bit of exposure please, thank you so much. I'm happy with that. I'd call this done. This will be a fun street car. 170 kilowatts and 450 newton meters in a front wheel drive Integra. External gate and a big turbo, like this is gonna be a fun car to drive. So it's been an absolute pain to build, but now that it's done, I already like it again. I think it's cool. So I'm gonna do one more oil change for the customer tomorrow. Just because when you do your steady state tuning, sometimes it is in rich zones. It might have fouled up the oil on paper, and obviously we just want to protect this engine because it's going really well. It's really healthy. It's making good oil pressure. So we'll just do an oil change, and this one's out the door. And we've actually got another couple coming up. Got an E85 burnout car with like a Victor Junior and a shortened diff, so that'll be a fun one. That's just a tune only, no build on that. And then we've got a build and tune on I think it's a BF XR6 turbo manual. We're doing rods, pistons, main studs, head studs, cams, full engine build in the car, tune it, and it'll make like 9,000 kilowatts because it's a Barra, even though I'm not a Barra guy, but they do make good numbers. So that's it. Thanks for watching. The Honda survived. I'm quite happy now. And that's it. Stay tuned for the next one. Subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff the YouTube people say down below, wherever it is. Anyway, I need to go to bed after I've eaten dinner.